Okay, we're live here. Today is December 6th, 2015. This is Julio Herrera, POC for the TVP in New York. And I have with me Brian from a POC for the Venus Project for upstate New York. And we have our distinguished guest here, Dr. Howard Moskowitz. And he is presently also located in New York. And he is going to we are going to talk about how he feels he can contribute something to the Venus Project, and we're very excited to talk about this with Howard. Don't call him doctor, he'll send you a bill.
I make my money that way.
Okay, Howard. So I read a little bit about your background in mind genomics, some of the case scenarios you had. I even saw a TED Talk about you, someone speaking very highly of you on TED Talks, and another example of one of the jobs that you what you've done for other companies. So very impressed with that. So if you could tell us what you think, or a little bit more of what it is that you do.
Well, I'm a scientist. I got my PhD 47 years ago from Harvard University. My specialty at that time was studying how people taste and smell. But if we go now 40 years later to about 2010, I really got very interested in applying my technology to social problems. Actually, the technology began to be applied around the year 2000, but it really took off about 2010. I did not know about the Venus Project until I met my colleague Lihi Laran in Israel. And she explained to me what this was about. I did some reading about Jacques Fresco. I did some reading about the goals, the noble goals, the positives and the negatives. And so my question is, you need a couple of things. You need PR, and I think you need some scientific grounding on what people believe can be accomplished. And I would like to help if I can. I'm not an expert in marketing in terms of whipping up interest of millions of people. But I am a good scientist. I know how to explore the problems and get people interested in the results. So with that, it's open as to what I can contribute to the project, how I may be best used. I'm quite well reputed scientifically, so I bring good credentials, street creds and professional creds, to the organization, to the movement. I'm not a wonder worker. I'm not going to convert everybody into an instantaneous believer. But what I can do is explore the issues using my science, figure out what to say, what people really believe can happen. Brian, you've muted Julio. Okay.
Are you getting feedback, Brian? Brian? Okay. Hello, Brian?
Okay. Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah, you kept muting me by accident. Are you getting feedback?
Well, I actually, at first I muted you on purpose, but then I couldn't unmute you because I was getting feedback from you, and I think coming from you.
Okay, let me turn down my volume. How about now?
And so,
is that better?
Yeah. Howard was getting chopped out a little bit here and there, and it was because the phone was listening to you and both of you at the same time, and it was.
Okay.
But I got the gist of what he's saying for the most part.
Okay. So, do you have anything to add to that you'd like to say, Brian? For the moment, I have some.
Not yet. I don't have anything yet.
Okay. So, Howard, I want to tell you, I'm getting feedback myself now from my own.
I think you're crushing a bag of something.
No, that's not me. That's Brian, I think.
Oh, hold on.
I'm getting feedback from myself now. All right. Let's see if I can. Okay. Now, Howard, that is. I understand what you're saying, and it's a very. I was excited to hear and see some of your work because I really do feel that with your experience and the scientific approach, you can you can in fact create more awareness for the Venus Project.
Yeah.
And I know that you're going to take. I think the result will be that because that's basically what we're. Um, our goal at the moment is to generate as much awareness as we can, and we do that through different outlets. We have all kinds of teams for the Venus Project that are working in that area. We have a media team, all kinds of activism teams, and we're constantly doing study groups, point of contact orientation courses. And me and Brian made it first, and then I made a point of contact for New York. So we're relatively new at this ourselves, but I could tell you we have a lot of points of contacts all over the world right now, and wherever there isn't one, there's someone in the process of becoming one. And this concept is slowly but surely getting a lot of attention and a lot of views.
So I think one thing is, to the degree that you can put it on a scientific basis, you can then influence the authorities worldwide, and it becomes something far more than simply do good and good wishes and hopes. And I may not be the right person, but I'm certainly the closest that I've seen to a reputable scientist who can help you.
And that's very commendable of you because we don't get many. I mean, we have different people that are volunteer that work. We actually have a database of people that are ready to volunteer when we get to do this project city underway, the experimental one. But we do have movie producers working, doing videos with Jock, and a lot of people. But one thing I did want to say, Howard, is that I don't know how much of the Venus Project you know, or how much you have browsed it, but it's a lot. It really is a lot to take on in one day. There's many aspects and a lot of different areas of the Venus Project. Even in just the homepage alone, there's a lot of different tabs and a lot of different categories. And there's a big section on frequently asked questions. I guess what I would like to say to you, so just to bring you up to speed, that we're not a organization that is asking for any money or donations. Donations are accepted, but we don't blatantly ask for money because we're trying to promote a resource-based economy as opposed to a monetary-based economy. And it wouldn't be right if we asked for money when we're trying to promote a resource-based economy. However, the Venus Project is a for-profit and a non-for-profit organization because obviously we're still in a monetary system, so there's some things that the research center actually has to pay. There's no, we're not in a resource-based economy as of yet, but there are some non-for-profit aspects to it. You know that Jock Fresco and Roxanne Meadows are the, for lack of better words, founders. Jock Fresco does not like to be acknowledged or praised as the leader or anything like that because he's not. He doesn't actually like that. He's on a mission. He's going to be 100 years old March 12th. I don't know if you saw the centennial poster that was going around Facebook. If you didn't get it, I'll make sure you get it. But March 12th, I'm going to be there. Brian is going. Well, we already have about 80 between 80 POCs and activists around the world are going to be attending already, but we're expected to have it in the thousands. It's going to take place March 12th. So with that being said, we're trying to get an approach that doesn't require as least amount of money as possible.
Right.
And obviously I'll let you do the, and another thing I wanted to just bring to your attention was that the Venus Project, they promote peace. We promote peace, and we try to bridge nations and find solutions. So we really aren't one side or another of any cause or situation. So
I'm in. I think I can contribute. I can't do it on one foot. I've got to study this stuff and talk to you, but it doesn't frighten me whatsoever.
Okay. Any information that you need or questions or anything that I can help us, you can ask anyone, me, Brian.
Right.
You can get on and we'll connect you with Sazo or Sue, and they're the global administrators. And any questions you have, I'll make sure we can direct you to the correct place, or provide you with a link that will give you all the information.
I will just simply need guidance when I do these little experiments to find out the mind of the citizen, the mind of the person. I will need help in designing these. And when you start seeing the results, we will be able to compile a book of results that will stand as a scientific background for what people believe can be done and what they want to be done. This is extremely important. It's something that you probably have thought about, really codifying what can be done. Now, that's different from being an activist. What I'm essentially doing is setting forth almost like the reality of what people do want and what they need to hear to begin the ball rolling. Something that you have, but you haven't formalized.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand that. Sounds interesting. I want to add something that, with all the experience that we've had with Jock ever since I have been following him, and I'm sure Brian, I can speak for Brian, Jock Fresco has provided us with lots of lectures and resources and links and credible facts and a number of resources of just about every topic that's out there. His credentials alone, I don't know if you saw his credentials online, but he, among other things, he's an engineer, he's an architect, he's a social engineer, a doctor, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of his, what he says, I really holds true to me, and I believe that. But what I'm trying to say essentially is that we come across in our society that a lot of, because when you said we want to figure out what the people want to hear or what they think, we have to understand that people have different beliefs and values and all these morals and religion and political agendas that we feel sometimes get in the way of people absorbing true facts. And as long as we can keep that in mind, the reason why I say that is because if somebody is if they're conditioned to believe a certain thing, and then you're trying to take a survey to try to see what the people want to hear or say, that is only going to be determined according to what their background is.
That's perfect. That's exactly my business. What does the person need to hear and the way the person needs to hear it?
Okay.
This is perfect. Because once you begin to understand this, you can move the movement forward much more easily.
Yes.
Not perfect, but
Right.
it's much more structured. It
Okay.
doesn't replace what you're doing. It's just simply a formalization so that you can get to your objectives much more quickly, more painlessly.
Okay. So then, what should be the first steps we take? What do you think uh, we should do right now?
We have to find out what's a burning topic that we need to convince people of. Once we find the burning topic, something that's relevant, we focus in on the different ways of expressing the issues in that topic. I've written about this, by the way, in my new Novum, Volume 1. Then we get a couple of hundred people who will volunteer. They read different vignettes, messages, combinations of messages. They can't game it. And from their reactions, we figure out what turns the people on and turns the people off. We find different mindsets, groups of people with different points of view. And then we figure out, can we identify a person having a certain point of view? And that becomes what we start advertising, what we start talking about for that topic. We really now know within the purview, within the constraints of your vision or Jock's vision, exactly what to say. We codify it. It's exactly what I do for clients.
Okay. Because Jock has mentioned something similar to what you just said, if I'm not mistaken. In other words, you're finding something that like a common ground with people, and then you use that to try to explain the aims and proposals of the Venus Project.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the key is specifics, not general. Specifics, specifics.
Okay.
And then not only that, we begin, if we can, to have the results in an easy-to-use PowerPoint format on the website so people can begin to understand what to say and what the hot buttons are.
Okay.
So that it's totally transparent.
Okay. Now, I just have a question out of curiosity. What if in your survey or your data collection you have a conclusion that says most people want, let's just say most people want goods and services at a lower price, not free, but at a lower price. Then, or if you have somebody saying that's, because a lot of people don't know, ignorance is wide. So a lot of people don't know what's out there. So they're not going to be able to relate to something that's unknown, obviously. So at the same time, will there be any kind of, well, I guess I'll leave that up to you because you're going to be what I'm trying to say is, what if the results you get after so many amount of time isn't what, well, I guess I shouldn't say that because I don't know what kind of results you're going to get. So,
well, let me tell you, it's not like what do you wish. I don't do that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to do is get a variety of what exists and what are the solutions, mix and match them, and find out what works and what doesn't work. It's not a question of what you want is, if I give you this and that solution for a given person, will that work or not? I'm not asking you what you want. You don't know what you want. All you know is that some alternatives look better to you and some alternatives look worse. And my job is to find out for each person what are the array of alternatives that that person will accept.
Okay, that's going to be dependent on that individual's.
That's correct. And nobody knows nobody knows in the world what to say to a given individual.
Okay.
People know what they'd like to have, but what exactly do you say?
Right.
Well, I'm in the business of finding out exactly what you say and the science of doing that.
Sounds very promising.
God willing, it'll be successful. We'll know within 48 hours of the completion of the first project. But everybody's welcome to see my Dropbox that I sent you. and look at the work that I've done,
Mhm.
and make comments on it, especially the Mind Genomics books. Nothing magic. At my age, I'm almost 72. There's no magic. It's no waving one's hands and saying, close your eyes and I'll pull the rabbit out of the hat. This is good, solid science which will last decades.
Sounds very promising. Brian, what do you think about all this?
I think that sounds terrific. I mean, and I get what you mean when you say people don't know what they want. Like, and you won't know how to present. We won't know how to present. I always struggle trying to, because we always try to find that value that people hold the most, and then use that to kind of turn them around, or to question that value or whatever, and in order to in order to do that, that's in a way that's relevant to what the goals are of the Venus Project. You have to first find that thing, and I never know where to start with people. I just ramble, come into this mental vomit of information that doesn't really, that person may not give a crap what I say about that particular subject, and they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know what I mean? And so I lose people. I've lost a lot of people already especially because of the early stages of me understanding the Venus Project. I got so excited about it, and it seemed to me like, wow, this is like a no-brainer. Like, anybody can get this. Like, this is great. And then I come to realize that I was dreadfully wrong. And then now those people that I talked to years ago, now I have a totally new understanding of the Venus Project, and I've already lost those people. So they're already, once you start bringing up the Venus Project, they're already on guard, and they're already like, no, I don't want to hear it, because you've already made your point 5 years ago, and that's what it is, So, and it's not. It's like, that was just my interpretation of what it was 5 years ago, but now I have a new interpretation of it that could be better, and I think I could bring more people in, but I feel like I've already lost the people from 5 years ago.
Right.
So I feel like this could help me a great deal if you feel like you have a science behind how to approach this with people. Then sure, like, bring it on, because I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I know that I struggle with that a great deal.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
It's one of the we all have that same struggle trying to get through to people without, Jock, I don't know if you know, but Jock has thousands of lectures online, videos, very, very interesting, by the way, and he mentions that as well. I mean, you can't attack people when you're trying to convey a message. You have to find a common ground, find any way you can to talk to people, and we have that. I mean, we have. I mean, this is large. It's a large following. This is happening all over the world, but we like to, until we have a mass movement of this. I mean, this could happen 50 years, 100 years from now. We don't know, but we do know that we are starting the foundations of a building that we may never see. So the future is not going to happen unless somebody starts it. So this is where we're at. We're just laying the infrastructure to the infrastructure. So yeah.
Well, I hope I'll be privileged to be part of that, and not me as much as my science.
Okay.
If it can make tomato sauce and it could sell health, then it could certainly sell a change in the economy and a change in the way life goes on.
Yes. Do you know what the aims and proposals are? Have you read over that a little bit?
Some of it. The resource-based economy, yes. But there's so much stuff, I read very slowly.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll have to just bear with me.
Oh, no, take your time. Take your time. Just,
I'm reading, I'm designing the experiments.
Yeah, okay. So if you need any information whatsoever, you just let us know. And if you want to speak to someone else, or we could have another. If you'd like to set up another Google Hangout like this later on,
Yes.
you know, we can do that too. We have another fellow from New Jersey that's a POC part of our team, but he couldn't make it today. And Sazo, I told you, was
Where does he work?
in New Jersey. The other POC is from New Jersey.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
We should meet at some point and go over what we're going to do.
yes. So if, like I said, if you want to send me an email or something, what you need or anything like that, you know, we're also in the process of doing our own things locally. We're going to be, we're planning to, we're getting an email database together, and we're going to be sending it out a letter to all the New York people that are interested in New York for the Venus Project. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to have a screening, hopefully before the centennial and after the holidays, because that way we may have some people interested in going to centennial, so we may have a better outcome. So
all right, the next job, my thing, is to continue reading and start laying out the first experiment so we can all see what it looks like.
yes, if I reached out to Ray. Ray is one of our global, I forget what he does, he's a global administrator or something, and a couple other people from the POC team that Brian just put up there on Skype, that we may have somebody interested in joining in. Well, if we don't hear anybody within a few minutes, we can shut it down, you know. But for now, you have any idea?
I just sent the link into the Skype, the POC Skype room.
Yeah, I
So
saw.
hopefully, okay.
I saw that. Very good. I hope somebody else might want to come in relatively soon. We do have some very advanced people that have a lot of questions. Like Ray, I was hoping Sasa, Ray, or Sue at the time, but being that we deal with people all over the world, by the way, Doctor, we operate with the UTC time zone. I'm sure you're familiar with that. We are 5 hours behind the UTC time code. For example, if it's the UTC time is 0000 midnight, we are 5 hours in New York. We're 5 hours behind.
Well, that's Greenwich Mean Time.
Right. So
right, Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah. So everything is referenced to Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah.
Yes. So they call it the universal time code, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, just so you know, because different people from all over the world have to try to tune in at the same time. It's very hard to. But we've had success. We've had courses, study groups, and stuff like that. So, what would your? I guess you're going to comprise something now for your.
Give me a couple of weeks and let me get back to you. I don't want to rush it through. I still have to digest stuff.
No, take your time. Everything's good. All right. Well, I guess. Sorry, I couldn't meet you at the cafe. That would have been nice, but we wanted to. I wanted to include Brian, and I was trying to include some other POCs, but it didn't look like anybody else was available.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. My job now is to start studying and pick one topic.
Okay.
Okay. Give me
one topic. Well, you mean one topic like one of the topics of the.
Right.
Like
right. We want to communicate, and we want to see what persuades. Yes.
What topic do you think you would start with?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I wonder about the one about no money, but that's very hard.
If I could make a suggestion.
Yes.
Before, or maybe to include, because what the Venus Project tries to advocate is that if we can get as many people in the world to understand that this is one planet and that all the resources should be should belong to the people, you know what I'm saying, to the people of the planet. If all the Earth's resources were made.
Okay, I'll tell you what you could do to help me. Give me 6 aspects of that. Divide that into 6 aspects, and each aspect giving me 6 alternatives, just phrases. If you could send that to me, 6 aspects or topics of what you've just said, and each aspect or topic has 6 alternatives, all in simple English sentences.
6 aspects.
6 aspects, and each aspect has 6 alternatives. 6 different things that are relevant. If you can send me those 36, I'll show you what I'm talking about very quickly.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That's your homework. If you can do that, I will show you something that will excite you no end. Okay?
Okay.
So you're looking for 6 aspects of common heritage of the Earth?
6 if you have common heritage, 6 aspects of that.
Yes.
Another topic, whatever it is, we have children that we want to leave an intact planet to. Give me 6 aspects of that, or 6 different ideas within each aspect.
You got it.
6 aspects, 6 different ideas within each. Everything expressed as a simple sentence in English. Okay?
Okay.
And when I show you what we can deliver, I think you're going to be very excited.
Okay. And
Excellent.
do you give you this through the email?
Through the email, yes, please.
Okay, Howard.
Thank you both.
That was a very, very nice meeting. Nice meeting you, and I'm glad you got to have this.
Thank you. Okay. Adios, guys. Ciao.
Have a good night, Howard.
Take care, Howard. It was a good pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, I'm here.
So how do you think that went?
Pretty interesting. I already feel like you're very good at this. I feel like
I try.
you did a really good job organizing this, putting this together, and asking the right questions and stating the right topics. Yeah. I wish there was more people here, though. I wish there was more to see.
Yeah. I reached out to Sasno. He said he almost could have made it. It's 1:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning right now.
I have always wondered. I always wonder when that guy ever sleeps. I mean,
I know.
Yeah. When I'm thinking about he's in Slovenia. How is he even talking to me right now? Like when I talk to the guy, you know what I mean?
Those guys are really at it. They're really at it, you know. And sometimes I feel like I want to do more, but I can't. For my computer skills, you know, I'm getting a little more savvier as the time goes on. But I happen to be off work right now. Oh, Kurosaki just joined.
You're too late, buddy.
Oh, he just left, Zane.
You just missed him.
You just missed him. He just hung up. Zane.
What up?
What up, man? You just missed the guy. He just hung up.
He just left.
Oh, my bad. I just got done working out. What do you want me to do?
No, I know.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I'm sure we'll get another meeting with him.
Yeah, we just opened it up at the last minute while we were on the air because we had discussed. We had to discuss rather quickly. It went well. I'm going to stop the broadcast actually now because we don't need to broadcast it.